Hi Hive Tribe, my name is Quino and I will lead you today in a short arm balance fundamentals workshop style video. Before we proceed, please click on the button below to subscribe to the YogaHive YouTube channel and also click on the notification button if you want to be informed of any new videos that we upload. We're focusing on arm balances because they're probably the most ubiquitous type of asanas or yoga poses that you see online. And that's for good reason because when you see them on YouTube or on Instagram, they look very badass. The problem is they could look intimidating as well. So I'm here to demystify arm balances and to guide you through the fundamentals of arm balances so that you can come to your arm balances safely and efficiently. That is without expending too much energy. A lot of times, we think that we might not be strong enough for our arm balances. But if you can sustain your chaturangas or half push-ups in proper form in the course of a 60 or 75-minute class, then you should have the strength and the capacity to do your fundamental arm balances. And if you need some help on your chaturangas, we will add a link below on our chaturanga fundamentals video. In this class, you will need just your mat. And again, it will be more of a workshop style video. So we will take our time to break down poses and to see the relation of our bodies, in particular, how one body part relates to another and how we distribute the weight in order to help us come to our poses. We will need to be quite warm for that. So I will lead you on a very quick flow in the beginning of the class to fire up our core and to build some heat within. So once you're ready, I'll see you on the mat. Start by coming to Tadasana, the top of your mat. Feet as wide as your hips or big toes touching. Take a moment here to settle in, grounding down to the feet, lifting up the spine, be your tallest self. We're going to start our sun salutations by doing 4 rounds of sun salutation A, and I will demo 1 round for you. Once you're ready, gazing forward. On an inhalation, reach your arms up, then gaze to the sky. Exhale, holding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, pull your navel in. As you exhale, step back into a plank. Take a full plank, knees lifted. Push the mat away with your hands, fingers face wide apart. Tuck your tailbones, core is engaged. As you inhale, roll your shoulders forward, tippy-toeing, shifting the weight towards the top of the mat. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, come halfway down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Core stays engaged, shoulders no lower than elbows, and elbows clip in. On an inhalation, shine your heart forward, upward facing dog, pressing down with the toenails, pushing the mat away with the hands. As you exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here, still pushing the mat away with the hands. Pull your navel in, so core is still engaged. Lift your tailbone a little bit higher. As you exhale, shift your weight towards your feet. It's okay if your heels don't touch the mat. Pointing your armpits towards the back of your mat. Feel your upper back broaden. Feel your shoulders come alive. 1 more breath. Breathing in. And out. On your next inhalation, gaze forward, travel to the top of your mat, then rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Grounding down to the feet as you inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart, then towards the side. Back to Tadasana or mountain pose. So that's 1 round. You will do 3 more on your own. So feel free to pause this video and resume it once you're done while I speed up my sun salutation. So see you in a bit. After you're done with your 4 rounds of Surya Namaskar A, we're going to do 3 full rounds of Surya Namaskar B, because the last or final round I'm going to be offering modifications. I will guide you in 1 round of Surya Namaskar B. On an inhalation, bend your knees, sit in your imaginary chair, Utkatasana, tuck your tailbone, reach your arms up, gazing up as well. And as you exhale, fold forward, back to Uttanasana, maybe take it deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga. Again, find the engagement in your Chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend, squeezing your shoulder blades together as you lift your heart forward and up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Spinning your left heel to the middle of your mat, so left foot at an angle. As you inhale, right foot steps close to your right thumb, squaring your hips. Rising up as you inhale, Virabhadrasana or Warrior 1. Gazing up as well. Exhale, hands come down, right foot steps back, Chaturanga. Moving with intention. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right heel spins to the middle of your mat this time. Inhale, left foot forward. Rise up with grace. Exhale, hands come down, left foot steps back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold it here for a few breaths. Feel the fire in you burning. Feel yourself warming up. Could explore your downward facing dog. Could press down to the base of each finger, making sure your palms are flat. Could grip the mat gently with the tips of the fingers, and maybe try to hide your heels behind your toes. 1 more breath. Inhale, try to lift your tailbone higher. As you exhale, maybe try to push your chest a little bit closer to your thighs. Our next inhalation, gaze forward, step, walk or hop to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. On an inhalation, bend your knees, back to your chair, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to your heart, and then towards the side, back to Tadasana. So that's 1 round of your Surya Namaskar B. Do 2 more rounds on your own, and I'll meet you back in mountain for the last round, which will be modified. Our last round, I'm going to be giving you modifications to prepare ourselves more for our arm balances. On an inhalation, come back to your chair, reach your arms forward this time, palms facing the front like you want to push a wall in front of you, fingers wide apart. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your fingers towards the base of your palm, so making fists with your hands, all the while squeezing your thighs together, pulling your navel in. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Stay here. Maybe come a little bit lower in your chair. And then as quickly as you can, open and close your hands. Wake up your forearms and wrists. I know it seems easy at the start, but after a while, you're going to feel your arms wake up. Hold it here with me. I know you're feeling it now. Just a few more seconds. Maybe a little more fast with those open and closes with your hands. Last in breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop back. Chaturanga. Back bending as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. The right foot lifts up as you inhale, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, bend your right knee, squeeze your right heel to your bum. Point your right knee skywards, but keep your shoulders level. So don't let your right shoulder lift. Focus on squeezing your right heel towards your left butt. Maybe gaze to your right toes from under your left armpit. Feel this in your right butt and right hamstring. Breathing in. And out. Last in breath. And as you exhale, you're going to tippy toe on the left foot, lifting your heel up. And then squeeze your right knee towards your chest. Chin or forehead coming to a high tiger. Push the mat away with your hands. Round your upper back. Remember this shape. Pull your navel in. Squeeze your right heel to your butt. Tippy toe on the left foot. And right foot steps close to your right thumb. Left heel spins down. As you inhale, rise up. Warrior one. And as you exhale, interlace your fingers behind you. Press your knuckles down. Inhale to lift your heart up. And as you exhale, you're going to charge forward and then down with control. Maybe right shoulder could tap the right knee. Maybe shoulder could be in line with the knee. Maybe come lower, forehead or crown of the head gently touching the mat. So don't put the weight on your head. If it's touching the mat, the weight in your legs, move your hands away from your lower back to wake up those shoulders. Last breath in. Strong legs. Inhale. Rise back up. Warrior one. As you exhale, hands to your hips. Straighten your front leg. Take a small step forward with the left foot. Use your hands to square your hips. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, hinge from the hips. Fold over your front leg. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Stay on your fingertips. If the floor is too far away, you can place blocks or books underneath your hands. Take an in-breath, lengthen through the spine. Plug your right leg to the hip socket. Exhale. Melt completely over your right thigh. Pyramid pose. Gazing to your right toes. Pull your navel in. Last breath. As you inhale, rise up halfway. And as you exhale, walk your hands to the left side. Pivot all your toes to point to the left as well. So your feet are going to be slightly wider than your hips. With your hands underneath your shoulders, point your toes at a diagonal. So at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Make sure your knees are over your ankles and knees tracking to the direction of your middle toes. Bring your hands on top of your knees. As you inhale, rise up. Coming to a goddess squat. Put your arms to the sides. Then bend at the elbows. You can stay here. Or maybe lift your heels up. And as you exhale, bend your knees a little further. Leaning back a tiny bit. Feel this in your inner thighs and in your butt. Pull your navel in. Squeeze your shoulder blades tight together behind you. Engaging your upper back as well. Just gaze forward. Breathing in. And out. If your legs are shaking, that's normal. I'm shaking with you. Last in breath. Exhale. Heels down, hands to your hips. Inhale, rise up. Point your right toes forward. Exhale. Hands down on the mat. Right foot steps back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's take it to the other side. Left foot rise, you breathe in, three-legged up. Exhale. Open hip mandala. Again, keeping your shoulders level. Try to squeeze your left foot as close as you can to your right bum. Staying here. You can, as you exhale, try to push your chest a little bit closer to your right thigh. One more breath. As you inhale, tippy toe on that right foot. And as you exhale, roll forward, then squeeze your left knee towards your chest. Chin or forehead. Bring as much weight as you can to your hands as you push the mat away. Bring your left heel to your butt. And left foot steps close to your left thumb. Right heel spins down. Prepare, rising up. Warrior one as you breathe in. As you exhale, interlace your fingers behind you. Pressing your knuckles down as you inhale. As you exhale, with grace, humble warrior. Charging forward and then down. Keeping the engagement in the legs. Feel the opening in the shoulders. One last breath. With the same grace, inhale, rise up. As you exhale, hands to your hips, straighten that front leg. Shorten your stance by stepping your right foot slightly forward. Take an in-breath to ground down to the feet, lift up through the spine. And as you exhale, keep the length as you fold over your left leg. Pyramid pose on the other side. Hands underneath your shoulders. Keep on lengthening your spine here. If you have the depth, go ahead and fold deeper. One last breath here. And as you inhale, rise up halfway. As you exhale, walk your hands towards the right side. Point all your toes to the right side of your mat. You can pitch into your feet, pointing your toes slightly towards the middle of your mat. Take an in-breath, hands underneath your shoulders, lengthen. And as you exhale, fold forward, Prasarita Padottanasana, standing wide-legged forward fold. Walk your hands back, maybe in line with your heels, maybe slightly beyond. Pull your navel in, lift your bum up, and maybe try to pull your chest to the gate of your thighs. Feel free to gaze up to the tip of your nose or to the ceiling from behind your bum. Last breath, breathing in and out. As you inhale, rise up halfway, hands underneath your shoulders, hands to your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up, point your left toes forward. Exhale, palms down, left foot back, Chaturanga. Slide your heart through with inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, you're going to find your way to sit on your mat. So you can step, walk, you can hop if you have it, you can jump through. Then we'll meet each other in a boat. Bring your hands underneath your knees, lean back. Pull your navel in, balancing on your sit bones. And as you exhale, lift your feet up. So options here, you can bring your hands behind you, coming up to your fingertips for support, or reach your hands forward. Because you inhale, you're going to come to a half boat, rounding your back, extend your legs, pull your navel in. Exhale, bend your knees towards your chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Good. Last few. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Inhale. Half boat. Hold it. Just gaze towards your toes or the tip of your nose. Wrap your legs to the midline. Last in breath. As you exhale, lie completely on your mat. Hug your knees towards your chest. Then roll gently from side to side just to release some tension. Hold on to your shins or interlace your fingers. Take a moment to tuck your tailbone, lower back flat on the mat. As you inhale, lift your head and shoulders up. Try to squeeze your knees towards your chest. Appanasana, wind releasing pose. If opposite wrists, forearms, or elbows are available, go ahead, hug yourself tight. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, pull your knees closer to you, but pull your navel into your spine. So squeeze yourself into a tiny little ball. Last in breath. As you exhale, release your head and shoulders down. Keep your big toes touching, but open your knees slightly wider than your hips. Keep on bringing your heels close to your bum. Then reach your arms up, palms facing up. You can stay here. You can tap your triceps with your knees. Go ahead. And as you exhale, you're going to push the ceiling away. So actively push up, lift your head and shoulders up as you keep on squeezing your heels to your bum. You're going to take a Bakasana or crow pose shape. So crow is one of the fundamental arm balances. You're basically doing it, but in reverse, with your palms facing the sky rather than pushing the mat away. So feel the engagement in your belly, in your legs, in your upper back, in your chest. Last in breath. Exhale, release. Hug your knees towards your chest. Make circles clockwise 3 times. And then find stillness. Extend your left hand towards the left side of your mat, hand in line with your shoulder. Wiggle your hips to the left. As you exhale, drop your knees to the right side of your mat. Your right hand could gently guide or push them down. It's okay if you don't touch the floor as long as your left shoulder stays grounded. Gaze over that shoulder. Last breath here. Inhale, stack your knees over your hips. We'll take it to the other side. Right hand reaches towards the right side. Left hand outside right knee. Wiggle your hips to the right. Exhale, twist to the left. Take a moment or two here. Let's inhale, come back to center. Catch your big toes with your peace fingers, and as you exhale, pull your knees down towards the mat as you kick your heels up. Happy baby pose. Focus on tucking your tailbone, so lower back flat on the mat. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, try to pull your knees down a little bit more. Last breath, inhale. And as you exhale, keep your legs where they are. Make a water gun with your hands. Interlacing your fingers, point up. Take an inhale here first. And as you exhale, slowly extend your legs, pointing your toes. So make a big V shape with your legs. Take an in-breath here. And as you exhale, you're going to shoot your water gun to the gate of your legs. You shoot as far forward to the front of your mat as you can. So you're taking a very similar shape to Tikibasana or Firefly Pose, which is another fundamental arm balance we'll be learning today. Focus on pointing your toes as far away from you as you can, shooting your water gun forward. Last in-breath. Exhale. Hug your knees to your chest. Make circles the other direction to keep things even. And hold on to your shins or the back of your thighs. You're going to roll forward, gather momentum. And you're going to roll forward to all fours where we'll see each other. Coming to all fours, we're going to take a moment here just to ground ourselves. So your all fours or tabletop pose is the foundation for your arm balances. Because that's where you learn to put weight on your hands and to push the mat away. So keeping your wrists underneath your shoulders, open your fingers wide. So as wide as you can, making big high fives, push the mat away. Walk your knees underneath your hips. Take a moment here to point your elbows towards the middle of the mat, or towards each other. Then push the mat away with the base of your fingers. If you want to learn how to do that, then pushing down with the base of your fingers, just lift the tips of your fingers up. Notice how the base of each finger actively roots down. And as you exhale, bring the tips of your fingers down, and then claw the mat a little bit so that the tips of your fingers turn slightly white. So actively push the mat away. Now we're going to be working on waking up our shoulders and our wrists and forearms a little bit more. So we worked on our core earlier and our bigger body parts. Now we're going to work on those smaller body parts. We're also going to be working on learning how to shift weight, which is crucial to, in order for you to come to your arm balances in a more efficient manner. So pushing the mat away with your hands, as you inhale, you're going to roll your shoulders forward beyond your wrists. Make sure your belly isn't sagging here. Pull your navel in. Roll as far forward as you can. Exhale, roll back, shoulders over your wrists. A few more times. Inhale, roll forward. Maybe a little bit more. Notice how your feet become slightly lighter. Exhale, roll back. Good. 3 more times. Inhale. Keep on pushing the mat away. Make sure the base of your fingers aren't lifting. Exhale, roll back. Last 2. Breathe in. And out. Changes for the last one. As you inhale, roll as far forward as you can. And as you exhale, bend at the elbows. Come halfway down to a chaturanga shape. Elbows clip in. Shoulders no lower than elbows. Then inhale, straighten your arms. Exhale, roll back. So I know your wrists Got a jolt of energy there. We're going to flip things. So point your fingers towards your knees this time. Creases of your elbows pointing forward. So earlier we learned how to roll or shift the weight forward. It's going to be crucial later as you come to your Bakasana. Now we're going to learn how to shift or roll the weight back, which will be crucial in doing your Titibasana. So you can untuck your toes if you wish. Take an inhale here. Still pushing the mat away with your hands, base of the fingers rooted. Exhale, roll back. Try to bring your bum as close as you can to your heels without lifting your palms. Inhale, roll forward. Shoulders over wrists. Exhale, roll back. Feel your forearms come alive here. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, back. So this time your butt will lead the way. Earlier it was your shoulders. Last two, inhale. Exhale, roll back. Last one, breathe in. Exhale, roll back. Butt will lead the way. Hold it here. Just feel the dull stretch in your forearms and in your wrists. One more breath, breathing in. And out. Now as you inhale, roll forward. This time, flip your hands once more. Fingers pointing forward, thumbs towards the middle of the mat. And now we're going to make circles with our shoulders. And doing circles will help you get used to shifting your weight towards the sides of your mat, left and right, which will be crucial later when we do our Parsvavasanas, or side crows, which is again what I feel to be another one of the fundamental arm balances. So roll your shoulders forward first as you inhale. And as you exhale, make circles clockwise. So start with the right, and then back, left, and forward. Good. Right and back. If you can, make a bigger circle. Left and forward. Still pressing down with the base of each finger. Still pressing down with the tip of each finger. So really glue your hands towards the mat. One more time. Making a big circle. Then forward, and then reverse. Counterclockwise. 4 times. So we're learning how to shift our weight because we're trying to mimic how a lever works. And if you remember your grade school classes or science classes, a lever is a simple machine best exemplified by a seesaw. Come back to center first. Bring your knees together, sit on your heels, and take a moment here just to stretch the front part of your thighs. So if you remember, a seesaw has a base and a beam on top. And where the beam meets the base is called the fulcrum. So the fulcrum stays where it is. And in a seesaw, you shift the weight from one side or the other in order to distribute the weight more evenly. So usually you start with this in the seesaw with one side down, the other side up. And how you bring that bottom part up is to shift the weight towards the lifted side, finding equilibrium till both sides are lifted. That's what we're going to try to do in our arm balance today. So rather than muscling our way or jumping into poses, you're going to learn to shift weight in certain directions in order to lift another part of your body up and find equilibrium. So in your arm balances, your elbows will be the fulcrum, or the point where the base and the beam meets. Your body will be the beam, and the base will be your forearms, from your elbows down towards your wrists. So the key to arm balance is to keep your elbows over your wrist the whole time. So just like in a seesaw, the base doesn't move. It's just the beam that's moving. So we're going to exemplify that by coming to Bakasana. So bring your hands down, tuck your toes under, lift your bum up, and step your right foot outside your right hand, left foot outside the left, toes at an angle, and come down to a squat, Malasana, or garland pose. We're going to shift a little back. There we go. And take a moment to establish your foundation here, pushing the mat away with your hands. Again, rooting down with the base and tip of each finger. And this time, press your elbows against your knees and squeeze your knees against your triceps. So it's almost like you want to push your knees away, but also you're going to squeeze your knees in. These opposing forces will keep you in place. Fingers rooted down. As you inhale, lift your bum up, tippy-toe. So notice the weight is already starting to shift forward. So imagine I'm a seesaw and my feet is the part of the seesaw that's hitting the ground. So in order to lift that, I need to put more weight on the other side, the lifted part of the seesaw, which in this case is forward, towards the top of the mat. Again, establish your base, pressing down firmly with the hands. Keep your elbows over your wrists, gaze forward, lift your bum up, round your upper back. So you're already halfway lifted here. On an inhalation, just focus on shifting the weight forward. Keep your elbows over your wrists, just shift your weight forward and bend your elbows just a tiny bit. Notice how your toes feel slightly weightless and then roll back. So just that natural motion of shifting the weight forward will make you want to lift your feet up, lightening the load there. As you do that, you need to maintain engagement. Of course, your arms are working, your shoulders are working, but also your core. So most of the weight in your body is in your core, the part where your hips and your belly are. So you need to engage that, pulling your navel in. If you're familiar with your Mula Bandha, go ahead and do that. It will help you even further. We're going to do that a few more times. This time we're going to try to lift one foot up. We'll start with the right side. As you inhale, again, establish your base, push the mat away, roll your shoulders forward, forward, forward. Notice how your toes want to lift. And as you bend your elbows just a tiny bit, squeeze your right heel to your butt, tippy-toeing on the left foot. Keep it light. If it's still heavy, shift more weight forward. And as you exhale, roll back. I know your wrists are firing up. I'm going to have a break in between to release our wrists, and I'm going to teach you some techniques to massage your wrists as well. Let's finish our Bakasana first. This time we're going to try to lift the left leg. As you inhale, tippy toe, pull your navel in, shift forward, and as you bend your elbows a tiny bit, squeeze your left heel into your butt. Keep on pressing your knees against your triceps, and then roll back. Good. Last one, you can keep on doing that, shifting the weight forward, lifting one foot up at a time. But if you're comfortable, maybe try to lift both feet up at the same time rather. Prepare, lift your heels up, press down with the hands. As you inhale, roll forward. And as you exhale, this time bend your elbows a lot, squeeze your heels into your butt. Pull your navel in, keep on pushing the mat away. Make sure your shoulders go no lower than your elbows. Last in-breath here. And as you exhale, land your feet down and come back to a squat. You're going to release your wrists. Press your backs of your hands together, fingers pointing down. And use your knees to squeeze your elbows in to apply more pressure on your wrists. Stay here for a bit. So in Bakasana, it's a matter of learning how to shift the weight forward. We're going to do the sides first before we learn how to shift our weight back. So we're going to do a Parshva in a little bit. The principles are the same, except that we'll be learning to shift our weight towards the side, either left or right. Once you're ready, bring your fingers down, walk your feet together, knees together, then tippy-toe, then sit on your heels. And support yourself with your hands. Take an in-breath here, lengthen first. And as you exhale, twist to the left. Hook your right elbow outside the left knee, fingers pointing forward, towards the top of your mat. Then your left hand is going to move away from your right, as wide as your shoulders as well. All your fingers are pointing in the same direction. And just like earlier, you're going to press your elbow against your knee and squeeze your knees against your tricep. So earlier in your regular crow, it was about shifting the weight forward. This time it's about shifting the weight to the side. And the same principle applies. Your elbow is still your fulcrum, your base is still your forearm, and this time your beam is going to be from one shoulder towards the legs, which will lift towards the other side. Establish your base, palms flat, fingers rooting down. Lift your bum up, pull your navel in. Take an in-breath here. And as you exhale, shift your weight towards the left. And as you bend your elbows, notice how your toes want to lift. So it's okay if you're here, just keep your toes light. Keep on shifting the weight to the left till your toes lift. And again, make sure your palms are flat. Shoulders no lower than elbows. Last in breath. And as you exhale, release. Then we have to do the other side. So tippy toe. Walk your hands towards the other side. This time, left elbow outside your right knee. Fingers pointing forward. Walk your hand a shoulder's distance away from the left. Point your elbows towards the back of your mat. Because as you bend your elbows, that's where you're going to allow your feet to lift. So I mentioned at the start of the class that Chaturanga is very crucial in your arm balances because the arm shape in Chaturanga and the engagement in your core in Chaturanga is the same that you're going to be applying in your arm balances, regardless of whatever arm balance it is. So once you're ready, palms pressing down, lift your bum up as you inhale. As you exhale, shift your weight to the right, right, right. And when you bend your elbows, notice how my feet automatically lift. Keep on squeezing your thighs in. So your fulcrum is your left elbow this time. Gaze slightly forward, not down. Last in breath. And as you exhale, bring your feet down. Come back to center. This time, bring your knees as wide as your back. Big toes touching. Sit on your heels. And again, bring the backs of your hands together. Again, inhale here. And as you exhale, point your fingers towards your chest and up. Then palms will meet as your fingers point forward. So you're going to make this rolling motion with your hands to release your wrists. Then the reverse. So we learned how to shift our weight forward in Bakasana or Crow, shift our weight towards the sides in our Parsva Bakasana or side crow. And last one, we're going to learn to shift our weight towards the back, leading with our bum as we go towards our Titibhasana. Once you're ready, release, bring your hands down, bring your feet down, and come back to this Malasana shape. Bring your feet a little bit wider, lift your bum up, and as you exhale, walk your hands back till they're behind your heels, and then bring your feet slightly forward. Slightly together. And even here, the same principle applies. Establish your base. Palms are flat, base of the fingers rooting down. Grip the mat gently with the tips of your fingers. If you can, try to sit or bring your bum towards your elbows or your triceps and squeeze your knees towards your shoulders. Gazing forward, as you inhale, lift your bum slightly up. And as you exhale, begin to walk your feet towards each other. Actively push the mat away with your hands. Here, your elbows are almost automatically bent. And you can stay here just to lift your heels up. And that's enough. Practice on moving your butt back. Last in breath. And as you exhale, release. Take a moment here. Bring your feet wide. Then press the back of your hands against the mat like a gorilla. Take a moment here. So we're going to do that again, but I'm going to offer modifications to level it up. So again, keep on squeezing your knees to your shoulders and moving your bum back. I'm also going to face a slightly different direction so you can see how I'm going to do it. For the second one, we're going to lift our feet up and then cross our ankles. Once you're ready, again, walk your hands back. Then at the elbows, fingers pointing forward. Try to sit on your elbows first. Get comfortable here, gaze forward. Push the mat away with your hands. And as you exhale, begin to walk your feet together. Lift your heels up just like earlier. Or maybe move your bum back a little bit more, bending at the elbows a little bit more. Then cross your ankles. Shoulder pressure pose. Last in breath. And as you exhale, release. Feet down. Take a moment here to release your wrists. So again, you can do that, or we might come to our full Firefly. So in Firefly, your legs are going to be straight, pointing your toes. Notice that the arm balance shapes that we did, your crow, your side crow, and Firefly, are things we did earlier when you were lying down on the mat. Now we just flip the orientation. so that you're pushing the mat away rather than the ceiling. So prepare, last one. Lift your bum up, walk your hands back rather, bending at the elbows a bit. Okay, just sit on your elbows as you walk your feet together. Once you're ready, move your bum back, shift back with those bums. So your bum will lead the way. Move it back, and then walk your feet forward this time, maybe coming up to your tippy toes. Stay here. Or you move your bum back some more, and then lift your feet up completely, coming to a full Titibhasana or Firefly Pose. Keep on squeezing your elbows towards the midline. Actively point your toes away, gaze forward. Last in breath. As you exhale, slowly come down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees drop. Fingers down and flip your knees up and down like a butterfly. And then release. So I know that's a lot of information to take in for a short class, but if you do these arm balance preps consistently, you will really learn how to apply them in your body, and then you will learn how to do it in a very natural manner. A lot of times what prevents us from doing arm balances is also overthinking. So if you do it consistently enough, it becomes second nature to you. Learning how to shift weight, and then learning how to engage certain body parts so that when one side of your body lifts in relation to the other, you won't collapse on the other side. You will find that equilibrium. And once you master your arm balances, like your Bakasana, you can learn how to do one-legged Bakasana. If you learn how to do your side crow, you can learn how to extend your legs or maybe come to Kundaliniasana. So yeah, once you master the fundamentals, learning how to shift weight forward, back, left, or right, then a whole new world of arm balances and yoga poses are available to you. Before we end, we're going to release your wrist just a little bit more. Starting with your left wrist, make a fist with your left hand, bring your thumb to the base of your palm, and then wrap your fingers around it. Wrap your right fingers around your left wrist, squeeze it tight. If you want to pop that hand out of the wrist socket, and then make circles with that wrist. And do it on the other side. And do it in the other hand. So crucial for arm balances as well is to keep your wrists healthy, because you're bringing all the weight of your body on your wrist. And that's not the most natural of positions. So if you overdo it and you feel some tension in the wrist, maybe take a rest. Do it again in a couple of days. But always keep your wrists mobile and healthy. Keep them strong and flexible. So that will end our arm balance fundamentals workshop. Feel free to practice some more. Feel free to come to Shavasana. And thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining us in the on YogaHive online. And I hope to see you again soon. And from my heart to yours, namaste.